I suppose, before we wrap up, I suppose some of my own reflections, particularly sort of drawing this together in terms of why CDF wanted to have this discussion and debate, and I suppose it was quite timely. I'd like to sort of think we can draw the best out of every set of circumstances. As many of you know, we would have said we were that repository of knowledge between successive governments. Governments come and go, but what CDF has been able to do is be able to draw those threads out and talk about approaches and ways of working and lessons learned. The point of having this panel was for our own reflective purposes and to try to define where we positioned ourselves going forward. I think for me, this is one of the ladders. This is quite exciting for us because actually we've got some, I suppose, some affirmation of what many of us within CDF felt was the way that the whole occupation was starting to define itself, and certainly how community organisations were starting to define themselves. And from April next year, when our public body status disappears and we are this social enterprise, as we were announced in the media, which was news to me, but we're quite happy to go with it. As we work towards our new future from April next year, it does mean we can have that much more, we can be more vocal about what we feel passionately about. I will sort of slightly disagree with John in terms of the rolling back of the state and big society, and this is our opportunity. I actually wonder, I'm a firm believer in wheel comes full circle. I think that's been a common theme throughout. So, and I don't think we can ever overcome that frustration that actually we've all seen this happen before and it's going to happen again. But the wheel comes full circle in that what will happen is, my sense is that big society is going to be spontaneously unleashed, as we've seen with the protests. So it's a different type of big society, and one of the questions I've been asking myself in that wheel comes full circle, sort of slight philosophising, is actually will community development practice become much more politicised and come up through the grassroots again? So people, I was a community activist. I realised when I joined CDF that I'd probably been a community, an unpaid community development worker, and that was slightly contested when I joined, but but that's, you don't know what you're doing is that when you're doing it, because you have a very common sense and a passion and a belief. So will the world come full circle? Will we see this politicised field re-emerge? Will it have to re-emerge in a way that is taking a different shape for a very different set of political, financial, social, environmental circumstances? So I think where the panels come from and where the recommendations, I'm very, very grateful to, first of all the wider contributors who've fed into discussions through the Facebook site and through the various submissions, to the panel members who gave up their time freely to come to the different meetings and to contribute on the very different sets of papers, to Mark for coordinating it and convening it with Alice, and to Mel, who produced 3 excellent papers, which the communications team who set this up tonight polished off and made them. I read them and I thought, these are fantastic. I'm so proud of what staff have done within CDF. And finally to John for giving up his time to pull this together. It has been difficult. There are clear outcomes, but I think it's actually again affirmed what we know is a contested field, and that's where I'm just trying to think about when you have these sorts of tensions and frictions, that's where creativity starts, and I think that's where we can only hope for more of those ladders to be climbed going forward. So a glass half full approach tonight. So thank you very, very much, John.